WhatsApp, maybe YouTube, then you can refer back. Okay, keep it that with your mind, all of you. That might be beneficial to you. Now I am going to play it back. Don't be confused. Now I am going to play it back our previous session and find out the starting point of Nadi's speech. Okay, most of the time after Nadi. Okay, Nadi, shall.
Okay, sir, I'm ready.
Okay.
The gift I received from my husband, actually it was from my husband. It's a lightning ball. The small ball that children play with it. And when we were at vacation, he buy that for me because
Okay.
I watched it. The too many toddlers and children in the park play with it, and that was the most pleasurable gift that I ever received from my husband, other than any other valuable and money spending gifts that I received. I'm more keen about that gift, and I would love to play with it.
One good thing about your speech, Nadi, you can generate long sentences. That is kind of unique skill, which is usually not having with most of Sri Lankan students. That is having with you. It's really good. Okay, Nadi, keep it up. Whenever you are talking, you can generate long sentences rather than short sentences. So I will give you some advice. Okay, Nadi, try to apply
Okay.
this one. In IELTS exam, they have one requirement under marking criteria using of complex tenses, complex structures mixed with simple structures. Not only complex tenses, they are having complex structures such as subordinating conjunctions, something like that. At least if you can use some complex tenses. Do you know what's called by complex tenses?
So the connection of the two sentences with the in conjunction, like there are
No,
some.
no, 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 no. They have two things. Complex tenses, compound sentences, sentences and tenses. Two things. If it is coming to tenses, we are considering our 12 tenses as two parts, simple tenses and complex tenses. So if we are talking in, say suppose past participle continuous,
Yeah.
past participle low, past participle continuous, present participle continuous, those things we are considering as complex tenses. Try to apply at least one or two complex tenses while you are speaking. As you are generating long sentences, that might be really nice to have within your speech, and you can gain an extra mark of that. Understand?
Okay. Yes.
Good. Let's see. I'm going to play back.
When I have free time, and now occasionally I can't play with it because I am so far away from him, and but the gift that I have received from my husband is the best thing that I think I have got. Uh, uh,
Nadi, we are considering it as a repetition. In the beginning, if you
yeah,
remember, you said it was a pleasurable gift you received from your husband. Here also,
yeah,
you are saying it was one of best gift you received from your husband. Not the same word, but same meaning. It's a
yeah.
repetition. So if you are doing repetition, it's really hard to go up to band score 7. So within that your speech, we should not repeat the same meaning again and again. Understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Where in recent past. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, Nadi, how do you feel?
It was so bad.
No,
Okay,
not
whatever.
you can you cannot say so bad as you already taken band scores 6 for your speech. You should be proud about that, right?
Yeah, I say if we can I share my own experiences with these colleagues with my
Definitely.
colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah, I have done my first attempt in IDP Colombo branch. Um, Actually, it was February 27th or 22. I can't remember exact date. But when in the beginning, I have got my speaking test. After that, I have done the other three parts. And when I am entered to the exam hall, I have got little confused because the not the examiner, not the speaking examiner, the IDP, actually the IDP staff, they are like they are confusing us. They are looking at us like we are very keen about the English, like that. That's why I got so upset when I entered to the exam hall. But it was not the very and at that time it was very confusing. But when time passes, there is some time. Actually, it's like 10 to 15 minutes. They are taking my fingerprints and again taking my fingerprints. There is around 15 time frame to be familiar with the environment. The we want to be familiar with the surroundings to sit to the exam, no?
Yes.
Like that. In that 15 minutes, I have calmed down. And also there were 10 waiting time, 10 minutes waiting time before I'm going inside to the exam center. It's like a small
Room.
yeah,
Yes.
a small room. I have a sit in the into the front of the room. And then after the around 10 to 15 minutes, I have called from examiner, and I want to stay that the examiner was so quick, like me.
Nadi, sorry to disturb you. Was that a physical test or a virtual
Yeah,
test?
physical test.
Okay, go ahead.
Physical one. All the other ones also had the physical test when I'm at that day. So when the examiner was so quick, before I'm giving the answers, she asked me the next questions, like that. It was only around 12 to 13 minutes, I think.
Yes.
The exam was closed, and I thought that I will get at least 6.5, like that. But she gave me 6 points. That's I have only the if I've got 6.5 for it, I will get my band. But unfortunately, I missed it.
Yeah. The thing is, Nadi, they have so many things to consider whenever they are evaluating your speeches. So we
Yeah.
can find out the marking criteria public version in internet. We can refer it, but their marking criteria of examiners are not public. We cannot say that. They are having the same marking criteria for giving marks to us. So they are considering a lot more things while they are evaluating our speeches. That's why we can get a rough idea where we are. Maybe 6, maybe 6.5, maybe 7. But we cannot say that exact examiner how much marks may give to us. It depends on their perspective. It depends on
Yeah.
the each examiners also. So Nadi, tell
Yeah.
me, was that a local examiner or a foreign one?
I think she's the Indian. I
Okay.
think so. At field it's like Indian, but sometimes it's maybe Sri Lankan also.
If it is Indian, it's a luck of us because Indian English is a kind of English which easily can grab. If there is a kind of another examiner from another country, just like Israel or some other country, it bit hard to understand as their native English might somewhat different from our English.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean speaking.
it was so clear, and the examiner was so friendly, and all the things that she said was very clear. And
Okay. That's good.
okay.
That experience might be really helpful to others which is about to face the exam and don't having any idea about the exam. And addition to that, it's required. Actually, this is not somewhat required for your speaking test, but There might have some examiners from different countries. In that case, you have to be familiar with their accent also. Otherwise, say suppose you are getting an examiner from Singapore, you are getting an examiner from Japan. In rare case, that might happen. So Israeli examiners also are there. In that case, you have to be familiar with their accent, not to talk, but to understand what they are asking. Otherwise, you might be in a trouble. Okay, in that case, try to listen some their native speakers, just like Israel persons, just like Singapore persons, while they are speaking English, so you can be familiar. Indian English is somewhat different to Sri Lankan English. We can clearly understand what they are saying. So not only native speakers, but some Asian English might require to be familiar with, because of examiner might come from different countries. That also a requirement. Okay, just idea. Okay, Nadi, thank you for participate this session and given an energetic start with your cue card dance and sharing your experience with your colleagues. That might be really helpful to others. Okay, Nadi.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, great. Now we are having Viraj. Viraj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's evaluate your speech. Before starting, can you tell me the keywords of if you have written down anything?
Yes, I have written down wonderful
Hmm?
and charity, fundraising, welfare, donate, and social media.
Wow, really nice. This is what I require. This is how we are saying strong keywording. You are just writing down only one word which is easily we can understand what we should tell while looking at these words. Really nice, Viraj. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how you have managed it in these keywords. I'm going to find out the starting point of your speech and I'm going to start back playing this audio clip. Otherwise, they have Viraj. Do you have any idea?
I have some knowledge about it. Yes.
You are referring some here as my book is somewhat different. I'm going to cover. Here we go. Okay, Viraj, are we good?
The wonderful event I have organized was the charity fundraising, and it was for the local children hospital. It was situated in our town, and it was like a community-driven fundraising support for their medical needs and their day-to-day essentials item. And this event was full with enjoyment and excitement and some of the entertainment as well. And this one was organized by my school welfare, and on that time I was the welfare president, so I have to organize and carry out the every work of this special function. So because our aim to do this one to get the maximum fund and help to these children, because once we have visited there, we have found that they need so many things to carry out their special needs and their day-to-day activities. So we have listed down, and we went to the shops and what are the things they are required, and we went to their office as well. So they also give us some listed item as well.
Viraj, you are maintaining a really good speech. If you listen back carefully, sometimes,
Yes.
rarely, you are jumping to present tense from past tense. Okay, this is actually kind of common issue with Sri Lankans. Even sometimes I also used to do that. Whenever we are talking past tense, sometimes you are jumping to present tense in some case. So you have to be familiar with that one. You can only read off that one by practicing. Practice and practice again and again and listen back your own speeches again and again. This one also I will put it on YouTube, this record, then listen back what I'm saying. Definitely you will find out some points which you are jumping to present tense from past tense. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
You might lose some marks due to that under grammatical range and accuracy. We have to treat on that. Okay, Viraj?
Okay, sure, sir.
Great. Let's play back.
So in that case, we reached out our local businessman and some sponsors as well, and also we went to some wealthy persons, and we invite them to participate this fundraising event. So they were very happy to participate this one because they have understand the value of this fundraising event. So on that day we have informed some social media channels and some commercial television channels also. So they have give us the full broadcast coverage as well. So because of that, we got so many people interact with this one, and we got lots of participants. Because of that, we have successfully conducted that fundraising event. And
Okay,
also,
that's an okay, Viraj. Really nice work. I'm really impressed on your speech, Viraj. Seriously. I will give some comments on your speech. Then you can be much more better with this comment. One thing is you don't need to mention again and again fundraising event. In that case, you can say this event. At the beginning only, it's required to mention what kind of event it is. Then afterward, it's not much required. Okay, Viraj?
okay, sir.
Usually we are not saying. Whenever, say, suppose I am talking about Viraj. In the beginning, I might say, today I'm going to explain about Viraj Bhatia. Then again, I'm not saying that in between. Viraj Bhatia is a person who kind. I'm not saying. I'm saying he's a person who is kind and fair, like that. I'm not saying again Viraj Bhatia, Viraj Bhatia, Viraj Bhatia. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's what required. While we are speaking, it's not required to repeat some same word again and again. In that case, we can manage like that. That's the one thing. Apart from that, good thing about your speech is your logical flow. If you know in IELTS exam, they have one marking criteria which is called first one. Okay, fluency and accuracy. That under that they have one more thing, logical flow. Okay, that logical flow of your speech should maintain. If you're talking off topic, then it might be a problem to lose some marks. Some tutors, some teachers are saying talking off topic might not reduce your marks, but it still they have a chance to reduce your marks, because if you are talking off topic, then examiner might think they have issue with your fluency. But in your case, you are talking very nicely and your arrangement is really nice. You are not telling anything apart from the main topic. In that case, you can talk even up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I am not stopping there. And next thing, Viraj, I
Yeah.
stopped you within 2 minutes and 14 seconds. It means you may have some more things to tell, right?
Yeah.
If it is coming to your real exam, examiner also might do the same thing which I done. When it is reaching to the maximum time frame, examiner definitely stop you in there. At the point you are stopping, you should be able to cover your speech at least 80%, 90%. If you are stopping in between your speech somewhere else, then examiner might think your time management is somewhat not good. In that case, whenever you are practicing, always trying to be time bound. Always, mostly in cue card question, always try to compress your speech up to 2 minutes of time. Understand?
Yeah. And
If
one more thing, sir. Are we seeing any time there?
no, examiner
No.
will use a stopwatch, then he will remind you. Remind means that he will ask you to stop, just like I done.
That's
After
the thing, because how can we know our exact time?
no, we cannot. And even though, say suppose there is a watch, but we are talking just only 2 minutes of time. Do you think is there any time to look at that watch while we are speaking? No, we have to
No.
look at our these keywords. We have to generate our words within our mind. We have to explain things. In the same time, if we are looking at the watch, then it might be extra pressure to our head. That is why while we are practicing, we have to be time bound. That is really easy. I have seen that from lot more students earlier. They are just like you. Some students are there, they are less talking. They are talking just maybe 1 minute of time. Some students are there just like you. They have a lot more things to talk because they are too much fluent. The thing is, when it is coming to IELTS exam, we should be able to compress our speech up to 2 minutes of time. We have to remove extra parts of our speech. We have to find out the key point of our speech, which required to explain within that 2 minutes of time. That's all. Okay, Viraj?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
And
Apart
one more
from
thing, sir.
Ha.
One more thing, because I think there are some hesitation between in between my speaking, because I
Hmm.
have tried so many times and I record myself as well.
Hmm.
But I think still it is there.
Ha. Hesitation, it's two type.
Yeah.
One is language related, one is due to your fluency issue. Language related means, say, suppose you don't have enough vocabulary to explain, then you are hesitating. Other thing is fluency issue means you might not be confident enough. You may feel shy to speak in front of someone else. So you have to find out which is your case.
Okay.
If it
So,
is about your confident, if it is about your vocabulary or some another issue, say suppose you cannot generate sentences in English as you are thinking within your mind. Some cases are like that. Just as
okay.
example, just assuming I can think what to say. I can think instantly. I know that what I require to say, but I cannot generate that in English instantly. In that case, I am hesitating. So first find out which is the your problem, then treat it. Understand?
Okay. Yes. Thank you,
There
sir.
have lot more methods to treat this hesitation, but here we will not get enough time for explaining everything. But
Yeah.
if I'm conducting these sessions continuously, definitely join with that, and I will give you some tips on that. Okay, Viraj?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So that's all. I think Viraj and Nadi only talk in this session. We have Lakmali, Nisha, and Ayeshani also. If you have any questions to ask for me regarding my speaking test, this is time for that. Okay, I guess no any questions. Anyways, I will give you some tips for your exam before winding up. First thing is, as you are practicing in IELTS speaking test, you have to consider about other factors. Other factors such as, just this Nadi also explained, the exam center, examiner, okay, and what kind of things you bring to the exam. Just like you have to bring, say, suppose a water bottle. There was an incident of my previous students. She went to this exam. She is really fluent, okay. Still, she is really fluent. But the thing is, while she is speaking, she got a cough. Okay, continuously she has cough maybe 2 minutes. But examiner also helpless. There wasn't any water bottle or whatever things to provide. So examiner politely has stayed up to be that student be normal. Then after she started back again. But due to that cough, she has some kind of demotivation because that happened during the exam. In that case, you have to bring a water bottle also. That's one requirement. Consider about that kind of factors also. As I said, there was some another incident as there was a virtual session. She has look at her own face in the screen. Then in that case, she has been nervous on that. That kind of things also have to be considered when it is come to IELTS speaking test. And this IELTS speaking test, sometimes, as Nadi explains, your speaking test might come in the beginning. Nowadays, this is the trend. Most of the time, your speaking test coming before to your writing and other two parts. But sometimes earlier it was the trend. Right now also sometimes it happens. Your writing test and listening and reading one coming before to the speaking test. So you have to be familiar with that one also. Otherwise, if you are expecting to be sit on your writing text before your speaking test, but if it is not happening in that way, you may demotivate. So be be ready for both of ways. We cannot predict. It depends on the arrangement of your exam by the exam center. That kind of factors also to be considered whenever you are practicing on, whenever you are be ready for your exam. Okay, some more things are there. We will conduct these kind of sessions continuously. As before, actually, we conducted these sessions continuously without 1 day failure. We conducted all 7 days within weeks up to maybe 3 months. We continued these sessions up to 3 months without any failure, but due to some issues, we has to stop this sometime, but we are trying to restarting the session as much as possible, just like this. So stay with the session, stay with the group. Actually, whenever we are conducting this kind of sessions, you can participate, you can get evaluation of your speeches, and you can get some ideas from my side and Kasum also there. We are not expert, but we can assist you somewhat. You can gain something here. So that's all from my side. If you have anything to tell before winding up, this is your time. Otherwise, we can wind up from here. Ayeshani, Lakmali, and Nisha, I wasn't able to talk with you. If you have any questions, you can ask even in Sinhala also, no issue.
Sir, I did my writing exam yesterday,
Mhm.
and I have to face my speaking test on 29th at
Okay.
British Council.
Uh-huh.
Then actually reading was so hard for me.
Hmm.
When I do in practice in reading, I got nearly 30.
Mhm.
I was in 6.5 band, but I am really scared by about my reading band score in this time.
Okay. Ayeshani, actually, it's not the issue with you. Yesterday, one of my another student also faced to the exam. She also said the same thing. Reading paper was somewhat difficult than the papers she done when you were practicing. So that is there. But the thing is, Ayeshani, right now you have done your reading part, right?
Yes.
So you cannot do anything with your reading test. Leave it. Because whenever it is coming to IELTS exam, you know that you are getting your overall band score, right? You are getting a overall band score, which is a collection of your these four components: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. If you done any mistake in reading part, it's good to forget that, and it's good to be ready for your speaking part. Then if you are getting any higher marks in your speaking part, even though if you are losing some marks on the reading part, you can cover it up. Understand?
Yes, sir.
In
Yes.
that case, you have enough time. You say 29th, right? Today 25th. You have almost 3 days. So utilize these 3 days and try to gain some extra knowledge. If you already faced your IELTS exam, which was your previous band score for your speaking test?
No, I didn't do IITS. This is my first time.
You
But
practice? Okay, you mentioned
yes,
about
when I'm
practicing time.
practicing. Yes.
Okay. Have you ever got any evaluation from any teacher or someone else on your IELTS
Yes.
speaking test? How was the
Yes.
marks?
I am in 6.57 between.
Okay.
But I don't know.
No issue. Aishani, are you applying any complex tenses or are you applying any idioms in your speech while you are
Yes, I
speaking?
do.
Hmm.
I do it. In the cue card session, I try to apply one or two idioms and some phrasal verbs.
Hmm.
Then, but part 3 is difficult for me because I sometimes I'm stuck in the part 3. I don't know what I say, and it is
Part 3 actually not only to you, everyone. It's common. Part 3 is somewhat difficult than part 1. It's obvious.
yeah.
But Aishani, I will give you some tips. Okay. In IELTS speaking test, there have so many methods to apply in part 1, part 2, and part 3 even. Right now, I don't have enough time for explaining everything. In my classes, actually, I am doing that. But I will tell you some words you can refer in internet and you can find out. In part 3, there have two famous method which you can apply in case if you cannot generate any idea, in case if you cannot tell anything, if you are not have enough idea within your mind in part 3 type of questions, you can apply one method which is called comparison contrast method. Okay.
Yeah.
Just Google it, you will get enough materials to understand what is called. And the second method which you can apply, cause effect method. Okay.
Huh?
Just Google both of these method and try to apply in part 3. Definitely you will get something in there. I am practicing this in my classes, but here I don't have enough time for explaining that one. That is kind of one separate day class. So in that case here, we will not get enough time for covering that one, but you can Google it. You can find out enough material for understand what is called. Okay. Apart from
Okay.
that, if you are facing, say suppose you are getting a question in part 3, I will open a part 3 question here. Then
Okay.
I will explain you. Let me share back my Makage's book. Quickly, I will show to everyone. Then it might be valuable to you. Okay. Okay. This is randomly I pick. Number 2, describe a book that you have read many times. Let's go with part 3 questions, follow-up questions here. Here you can see Ayeshani, the first question. Do you prefer books or movies? Okay. So here, this is easily we can apply comparison contrast method. So you have to tell either books, either movies. Then you can compare in between. You can give some logic. Say suppose you are picking books. You can say, I prefer books over movies because. Then you can, after because, you can give some reasons. Understand?
Yes.
So in that case, you can generate a good answer in part 3. Let's take randomly this second question. Do you think it's important to read the book before watching the movie version of it? So really good question. If it is me, I would say no. Okay, if I don't know about you. So say suppose you don't have any idea about this one. Say suppose you are not a person watching movies. You are, or maybe you are not a person reading books, but you are watching movies. Just assuming. In that case, you cannot give answer for this question because you are usually not reading books. You can simply say to the examiner, honestly, I am not a person who is always reading books, but I am a couch potato. I'm always would like to watching movies at all the time if I'm getting a free time. But if I'm getting time for reading books, after if, this is called speculating. Do you know what called speculating? Aishani?
No.
මම සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ ස්පෙකුලේටිං කියන්නේ අපි ඇත්තටම දැනට කරන්නේ හැබැයි අපිට chance එකක් ආවොත් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් අපි මොකද කරන්නේ ස්පෙකුලේටිං අපි නිකන් අර හිතලා කියනවා if දාන්නෙම අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි වල එහෙම වුණොත් කියන අර්ථය දෙන්නනේ එතකොට if එකට පස්සේ ඔයා කියනවා if I get enough time for reading books definitely I prefer to read the book before watching the movie version of that because while reading the book, I can gain a basic idea about this story. If it is interesting, then I can go with the movie. Something like that you can say. You can generate your idea. මම සිංහලොත් කියන්නම් ඔයාට කිසිම අයිඩියා එකක් නැත්නම් part 3 එකේ ඔයා අයිඩියා එකක් හිතලා කියන්න. ඔයා බොරුවක් කිව්වත් IELTS exam එකේදී ලකුණු අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එකම දේ ඔයාගේ content එකේ තියෙන ගුණාත්මක භාවය විතරයි examiner බලන්නේ. Understand?
Yes.
I given 3 tips. One is comparison contrast method, one is cause effect method, third one is this speculating. This everything will work in part 3. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
When I start cue card, I always give some it is possible to give I mean some introduction or
Well. Okay. In cue card, if you are, I am giving example, one method I will give you. They have PPF method, they have PREP method, which you can apply in cue card type of questions. Okay, if we are applying method also, if you are not applying method also, always it's required to start our speech with the general statement.
okay.
Understand?
Yes.
I will randomly, I will take a question here, maybe. After this one, this one, I don't know. Let's see. Describe a new store, shop that has recently opened in your town or city. Okay. Then you can start with the general statement, something like, honestly, recently there was so many store or maybe so many shops start in our town, opened in our town. That's the general statement, right? You are telling that there were so many stores opened in your city. Then after you can go with a specific store, maybe a cake store, maybe a grocery store, maybe a bookstore, whichever. Then you can start like, among all the stores, I would like to explain about one specific bookstore which I always visiting for finding out my class materials, something like that. Then you can be specific. Understand, Aisha?
Yes.
And also same way, whenever you are finishing your cue card question, it's required to give a conclusion, not big statements. Maybe one sentence is enough. At the end, you can give some conclusion. Then it will be a perfect answer. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Others also can ask questions, even in Sinhala. No issue. Okay, it's almost 1 hour we spent here. If you don't have any questions, we are good to winding up this session. I will put this on YouTube, then I will share the link with you. You can watch back and you can gain some knowledge. Again, I will plan this kind of session. I will share it in our group. You can join and your friends also can join with that. It's up to you. Then thank you for joining with this session, all of you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.